Exactly. Well, you know what, Chip? Let's get things started, friend. Thank you so much for joining me on Eman's new comic book day pick, and this is going to be for August 4th, 2021. Chip, thanks for coming along, my friend.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's been awesome so far, checking it out, and we're ready to go. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I love it because I have the White Shadow hanging out with me. And I got to ask, where did White Shadow come from, Chip? What's going on with that?
So White Shadow came from Remy Q Studios and Cardboard Crazies. Remy Q and Cardboard always tried to get me to go on their show. And you know, it wasn't anything against that. It was just I was always busy or things like that, and I'm, you know, with work. So then finally one day Chris ended up asking, and I just happened to have free time. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. So when I came on, Remy's like, well, how the heck did you get him? And I didn't. I've been asking for a lot longer. He's been like a White Shadow, and then all of a sudden, then when I showed up on their stream, then it was like they do the little White Shadow from Turbo, where it's got the little snail, and he kind of tucks away into the back, hides, and goes, I'm the White Shadow. And then they said, oh, I could still see you, you know, and as he hides, you know, White Shadow.
Shadows, they're not inherently fast.
White Shadow.
I can still see you.
So you'll see these guys, they'll do this whole off-camera thing. When they're talking about me, they'll kind of slide themselves off camera because that's what they're emulating, is that guy trying to go into the shadow. That snail to go into the shadow to say, you know, he's the White Shadow, you know. So
I love it.
Yeah, so that's the story. So it's funny because after that, I was just kind of like, okay, well, all right, whatever. And I've never seen Turbo. Now I've seen it twice since then. And on top of it, my wife now calls me the White Shadow. I got Legion of Comics' son, you know, and Legion, you know, the White Shadow's on. He's come running over. Finn's running. Hi, White Shadow. Hi, White Shadow. So it's kind of stuck with me. I was looking at a Jeep Gladiator the other day, and my wife's like, "Well, you got to get white, and then you got to put like on the side of it the White Shadow." And I'm like, "All right, fine." It's like, I guess I'm officially embracing Remy Q's name for me, which is the White Shadow.
And that's the story. I think is that the first time you've ever told the story on camera?
I think I told it briefly, a little bit of it, like through Burke's channel. Burke has a family channel that he does, you know, for the family members. I think I mentioned it in there a little bit, but not as detailed as this. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Yeah, you know.
You got the story. Everyone now has a story of where the White Shadow comes from, thanks to Remy Q Studios and thanks to Cardboard Crazies, Chris over there.
Oh yeah,
awesome
they're awesome.
Stuff, you guys.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. I love them.
Well, let's kick this off right here, Chip. We're going to be talking about our top 3 new comic book day picks for August 4th, 2021, my friend. Honestly, you and I we chose 2 of the same books, so I'm still going to add more books. We're going to be talking about 5 books total today because you and I are sharing, all right?
No problem. And the 2 you had, I may actually have been like, oh, that was on my list too. Because this was a good week coming up. This is going to be a good week coming up.
It's going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy for sure. Yeah, well, let's kick it off. Chip, talk to me, my friend. Let's start this off. Now, keep in mind, everyone watching, this is not in any particular order. We're just talking about our 3 picks. Whatever order they come in, they come in. So, Chip, talk about your 3. What's your number 3 pick for New Comic Book Day?
So my number 3 pick for New Comic Book Day is going to be Immortal Hulk number 49.
Yes, Al Ewing, Joe Bennett. Talk to me a little bit about Immortal Hulk.
I've really jumped on this series from day one. I've really loved this series. I think it's funny because I came in as a comic book superhero reader and always thought of Hulk as kind of, it's kind of superhero-ish, but not really. I mean, but I started off by reading like Weapon H and really getting into the Weapon H for Hulk. And then after I read that, I'm like, oh, they've got this Immortal Hulk. Let me read this. And I fell in love with it. I love the fact that it's more of a horror type of, it's not like your standard. It's kind of a horror type story about Hulk and about his split personalities and all the different, the different people that are in his body and the different types of Hulks that he has and that encompasses makes him. So it's really neat. It's a neat neat book. I think Al Ewing does a great job. I can't wait. And this is coming towards the end, unfortunately. That's the sad part. Is I think October 14th, I think, or when they release on October 14th, there's going to be the last one, which will be number 50. So
now,
this will be...
I know this is Al Ewing's baby. Has he been writing this ever since number 1?
Yep. Man. He's been doing it ever since number 1, and Alex Ross has been doing covers since that number 1, and so Alex Ross always gets. I think Alex Ross always gets the A cover, and then I'm just a huge Alex Ross fan as well. I mean, he is the goat of painting. Yeah, I mean, I just love his artwork. So, I've got a huge book up there from him. So yeah, he's a big influence on me. As far as gone and seen him a few times, different shows, and as well as. There's a local museum near the house, a small little community museum, and he had a whole exhibit set up in there that you can kind of walk through and see all of his artwork when he was a kid drawing up and stuff like that, and some of the things he was drawing as a kid all the way up to current. So it was kind of neat.
Yeah. That is awesome. Well, let me go ahead and read a little bit about Immortal Hulk number 49. Again, written by Al Ewing. Arts from Joe Bennett. This is the gate into the city of suffering, to the hurt that never ends. This gate is for the lost. The gate is a thing of divine power, a thing of forever. But even for the strongest one there is, it bears the warning, abandon hope. All ye who enter here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Makes sense to me, definitely. Okay. Yeah, definitely does. Yeah. So he's going through a whole process of trying to get back to save Bruce Banner. The Hulk is, and it's kind of like Bruce Banner's basically in hell or the underground, the underworld, basically, or underworld, dark deep down, or whatever the heck they call it. I can't remember the name of it, but he's actually in one below. The one below all is where he's at in that area. So they're trying to get to him to actually pull him out and save him. So, but yeah, there's a lot of different doors that they go through, and yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a neat concept. You'd have to, I recommend highly read it. If you haven't read it, read it. It's going to be very good. Trade paperback it, go for it. Great.
And that's definitely an overall consensus with the Immortal Hulk. If anything, this has been one of Marvel's more consistently great reads, and I did not jump on it when it came out. But you know what? There's trades out there. I'm going to dive into it. I definitely should.
Yeah,
that's good. Should. All right. Well, you know what? I love that. Immortal Hulk number 49. That's your number 3 pick. Chip, let me go ahead and talk about my number 3.
Please do.
If you don't mind. So I'm going to go with. I really enjoyed number 1. I really enjoyed number 2 because then we're starting to understand the 5 main characters involved here. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about Cullen Bunn and Jonas Schraff's masterpiece in the making, Basilisk. I think it's number 3. Yes. I really like Basilisk 1 and 2, and I really enjoy the development of the story and of the characters. I'm really digging Basilisk. Are you reading Basilisk by any chance?
I am actually, and I've read 1 and 2 as well, and I've loved it. That was one of the ones that I was like, do I go Basilisk? Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of them that are like coming out like that. That's why it's a tough week this week. It's like, there's so many good ones coming out, but yeah, that's a great one. I love that one.
Basilisk. Cullen Bunn is doing really good right now. He's got a couple of hitters out there right now, but Basilisk is the one that's coming out, this coming New Comic Book Day on August 4th. Let me read a little bit about number 3. Is there no end to the Chimera's reign of terror? Reagan, a former member of the Chimera, and her past victim, Hannah, continue the hunt for Reagan's brethren. But the shared memories that haunt them both may put an end to their quest. Meanwhile, cornered by the other Chimera, may have met their match, the state police. Wait a minute, the state police are going to try to stop these 5. I want to call them gods of the senses. It's pretty much what I'm getting from. You have one guy who controls scent, right? We have Reagan who controls sight, Right. We have one that controls hearing.
Yep.
Or I shouldn't say control, but has the power of it. And that's what I like about this book, is that they're giving you just enough about the characters to be like, why do they have these powers? And then the main story between Reagan and Hannah. Let's like Hannah kidnapping Reagan. Reagan's like, look, I can kill you, but let's go ahead and see how this is going to go ahead and go on.
Exactly.
Okay, what journey are you taking me on, Hannah? All right, I'll bite. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. No, I've been loving it. It's a great series. I'm excited for this one. That one's a good one.
Yes, indeed. So Basilisk number 3 is my number 3 pick for New Comic Book Day. Let's go ahead and get to your number 2 pick. Chip, talk to me. What's your number 2 pick?
I have a feeling my number 2 pick is one of yours, since you said you. And that's going to be Nice House on the Lake, number 3.
Yes.
Oh, God. Holy crap.
To the winner of the Eisner Award for Best Writer for this year, James Tynion the Fourth.
Does that guy, I mean, everything he touches golden. It's just unbelievable. And it's not even always the same exact type of style. It's like, I'm just blown away by how his mind can just trigger and flip from being like, writing on, whatever, from Batman, right? Going from a Batman scenario where it's kind of all superhero-y to something that's really, whether it's this or something's killing the children or whatever. I mean, it's just Dark Department of Truth. I mean, the guy's unbelievable.
You're
unbelievable
right.
Writer.
The way he flips the script on us, he goes from superhero to suspense to YA with Wind to horror with A Nice House on the Lake to conspiracy theories with Department of Truth. This man can do it all. The Nice House on the Lake number 3. Talk to me about this. What are you looking forward to with this one right here?
I'm really looking forward to see what their plan is and how they want to. I think from what I understood on reading is they're going to try to get out of the house and try to explore some more. And I've been liking a little bit of the Easter eggy things on the back end, because now we had the first one was about the coming on, and now you got the second one was about the guy, the musician. So so they're kind of following those little dots right on the very top of the cover. I wish I had one here to show, but so I'm excited to find out, where this all goes. But I think that's, from what I understand, they're looking to try to get off and try to, explore the lake area around, the area and see what's going on soon.
The dots on top of the comic? What do you mean? What's going on with that?
Each one of those dots represents one of the characters and one of the storylines. So, like, if you're looking at the dot, like, for the issue number 2, it's actually, the first one was yellow, and then all of them were white. Now, if you look at it, the first one's white, the second one's yellow on issue number 2. And you look at number 3, the dot, it's going to change, and each one of those dots, I think, represents a different chapter, basically, and a different storyline, or a different story.
So in issue number 1, you know how they were all like the magician and the doctor, and there was a design. Is that what it is? There's all these designs associated to those characters?
Exactly. And you've seen that she was drawing, the artist was drawing those designs in issue number 1.
I need to go back now. Now I need to go back and reread it to see those Easter eggs.
And then you're like, wait, what? She was drawing. And then, those are the same designs she was drawing. And then those designs have been on since issue number 1 at the top. And then I realized, I'm like, wait, okay, the first one is yellow, second one's white. Now this one's, it's gold or whatever. This one's gold. The other ones are now white, and then white across the, I'm like, so each episode I think he's going to have, so you can kind of see how many episodes this book's going to be based on the number on the top. I don't remember what the number is, but
I think it's only 10 issues with the Nice House.
Okay, so maybe there's only 10 at the top, but it's interesting the way they have that set.
I did not catch that. Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well, let me read about this one. So, The Nice House on the Lake, number 3, of course, written by James Tynion the Fourth. This is art from Alvaro Martinez Bueno. Walter's rules for their gateway strongly suggested the residents not leave the property lines of the house. But how far do they go? It's not like Sam, the reporter, to leave a question like that unanswered. But what he finds when he walks the perimeter of the lake might turn out to be the story of his lifetime, however much longer it lasts. So we're focused on the reporter on this issue. And
first one you had the artist and the musician, then now the reporter, and I think each one is going to kind of focus on one of the characters, be the main focus of that, the way they write it.
That,
it's kind of neat. I think it's really neat. Yeah. And I like how he's going back and he's looking at this saying, okay, these were the kids and the people that I befriended, and they're the ones that I feel are worth saving. And then you're getting a little background story with each story. You're getting a little background. Like, they had him when he was younger with this, with the musician and talking with the musician and then, the college dorm or whatever. And, so, I mean, it's nice to have these small little background stories to understand where they're coming from.
I love it. Yeah, I did not catch that. Okay. I'm going to have to go back and reread 1 and 2 to catch those little Easter. When you said Easter eggs, I thought you were talking about like when you saw the Twitch or the Twitter feed and you see like Tiny Onion and you.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that too. Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff too. Yeah, definitely. But these are just other little things in there. So that's the one thing I love about it. Yeah.
You really got to dig deep for that one. You really, really do.
Yeah, you
All
do.
right. That's also one of my picks. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's also one of my picks, you guys. That's what I want. That's definitely gonna be picked up for sure.
Great minds think alike, as they say, huh?
Exactly. Let me get into my number 2 pick, Chip.
Okay.
My number 2. Now, honestly, look, if I look at this, if I'm looking at this list that I created of all of the books that we're reading, all of these are superstar writers. We have James Tynion, we have Cullen Bunn, we have Al Ewing. Mm-hmm. Now, I totally understand that there is an issue with this guy right now. I know there's some kind of controversy out there, but that's something that Rick Remender needs to take care of on the side, that he does not put on blast, apparently, not paying his artists for scumbag. Look, Rick, take care of that because there's one book that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Chip, have you read 7 to Eternity?
I have not.
There's
I have not read. Yeah.
That's the book that let me introduce you to.
Yes,
Adam
please
Ositis. Adam Ositis and the Ositis family is a disgraced family in this fantastical world who was pretty much, they were banished because they wouldn't follow a tyrant king. Tyrant King pretty much says, hey, look, just bow to me. All I need to do is be able to just see what you see and you guys will be okay. I'll take care of you. But he's going to have control over what they see. He pretty much uses them as a network of people so that way he can overlook his land. Well, because the family said no to this, they were banished. And in fact, this, what they call a Mud King, ends up killing the patriarch of the family. And now Adam Ositis, which is the son of the patriarch, is pretty much out for revenge. He goes on this journey. He embarks on this journey. He's going to go out, kill the Mud King, finds him, captures him. He's going to take him to a spot that's supposed to pretty much relieve the family of any of this disgraceness that has happened. But on his journey, he ends up befriending this one person who killed his father. Now, it's all about the journey and what's going through Adam's head. Now, you have to understand, Adam's on a very short time limit because he is progressively dying. There's something happening with him, and he's gonna die. And his final wish is to make sure that his family's taken care of. And in order for that to happen, he's got to take care of the Mud King. But what do you do when your only, sign of relief is to kill someone you just befriended?
Yeah. Wow.
So issue number 17 for 7 to Eternity is actually the final issue of this series. This is going to conclude. I read issue 16 and it came out a few months ago. I was waiting for this to come out and it didn't. Now it's coming out. You know how Rick Remender does. He'll put out a bunch of stuff and then stop and then puts out some more stuff. And that's exactly what happened. Like he was like, he did 14, 15, and 16. I was like, oh yeah, give me more. And then it stopped. I'm like, dude, this is like one last issue. What are you doing? Finally, he's doing it. He's putting it together. Between him and Jerome Pena, I think is a fantastic combination. If you read Uncanny X-Force, it's the same team. Jerome's art is fantastic with Rick Remender's writing. So My number 2 pick is going to 7 to Eternity, number 17. And it's the conclusion, the final, the series finale.
I'll have to look for that on trade paperback because I can't imagine I'll be able to get all 17 easily.
Yeah. It is a bit of, I'm not going to lie, it is a bit of a tough read sometimes. Sometimes I kind of have to like push through it. Yeah. But when you look at it as a whole, it's just this whole fantastical journey with some crazy characters and amazing art. Art is absolutely fantastic from Jerome Opeña. If anything, it's probably one of the best arts, in my opinion, out right now.
Oh, wow. That's very good. Very good. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out, definitely.
Check it out. It's worth it. All right. On to, and I'm going to say our final pick, because this book is also something you and I chose, Chip. So I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about it. Please, my friend, what is your number 1 pick for New Comic Book Day, August 4th?
So my final pick is going to be The Me You Love in the Dark. So number 1, obviously, from Image Comics. So.
Yes. Like I said, this is like a superstar lineup of writers, because we have writer from Scotty Young, we have Al Ewing, James Tynion, Cullen Bunn, Rick Remender. This is an all-star writer episode right here.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
What are you looking forward to the most with The Me You Loved in the Dark?
The funny thing about it is that it's because of what it's about is basically this artist, and how she goes to this house. I've actually seen some of the artwork already for it too, as well, and I've been reading some of the early stuff on it, the release stuff that they got out there, and I'm like, well, I love the artwork on it to begin with. I mean, the interior art is just beautiful, well done. As far as the actual story itself, it's about this artist finds a muse, goes to this house on and has a muse happen, event, and I'm excited. I guess it gets the art side of me a little bit, as well as the horror, the mystery, the fact that it's they say it's Stephen King-esque. If you like Stephen King, you're gonna like this. I'm like, hell, I love Stephen King, so I'm all for it. So, yeah. Definitely.
Now, this is coming from the creative team who also did Middle West from Image. Yes. I did not read Middle West, though it's something that's in the backlog, something that I know I have to read. But Jorge Corona's art is fantastic. I have seen his stuff. Scotty Young's writing is actually really good. I Hate Fairyland was hilarious, and then he's got a very unique art style. So Scotty Young can do it all, but it seemed like he was like, "Look, let me get my brother Jorge Corona back on here. Let's go ahead and create something." With The Me You Live in the Dark. Let me read a little bit about this one right here. An artist named Ro retreats from the grind of the city to an old house in a small town to find solace and inspiration without realizing the muse within is not what she expected. Fans of Stephen King, like what you said, Neil Gaiman, will enjoy this beautiful, dark, and disturbing story of discovery, love, and terror. It sounded really, really good. This was a book that, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I want to jump on this, because I did not jump on Middle West, and I do like Scotty Young, and I do like Jorge Corona.
Yeah, I'm the same way. The funny thing is, I've used to collect a lot of Scotty Young art. Covers and stuff like that, because that's kind of what I always thought he was known for. But I didn't realize that he was actually writing until just recently that he was writing that, I Hate Fairyland. Because, I've read that and I thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, this is awesome. I was trying to get my wife to read it, because I just thought it was so funny. Yeah. So to find out he was doing that and doing Strange Academy. And, I'm like, wait, what? Really? Oh, okay, cool. So I guess he does write good stuff, because I never really thought of him as a writer per se, but
right, because of his unique art style, you would think of him as a cover artist. He's like a Peach Momoko or a John Jang, where all they do is covers. No, Scotty does covers, interior, and writing. Man, this guy's uber talented. I love it. This was also my pick. This was also one of my picks right here, and I'm glad that you chose this, so that way we can talk a little bit about this one, because I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, I didn't read Middle West, and I want to, but I want to know what Scotty Young's writing style when it's not as comedic and like they said, Stephen King, Neil Gaiman-ish. Let's see how that is.
Yeah. Because this will be a little bit different than what he's got with Strange Academy or any of the other ones, where they are kind of, borderline comedic or stuff like that. I mean, because for most part, Strange Academy is kind of a, there are funny parts within it and stuff like that. So this is kind of more horror. So I'm excited to see what happens with this and see where he's at and how he can, if he has that, ability to flip the channel on us, and so yeah, excited for it. So
exactly, I love it. All right, Chip. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. This is our top 3 picks. Chip and I ended up sharing quite a few picks this week. So look, this coming August 4th, you guys have choices. It's going to be a heavy week. I already know. For me, for Chip, for you guys, it's going to be a heavy week. Hopefully, our 5 picks that we talked about, help sway you in the direction that you want to go with. Chip, before I let you go, my friend, do me a favor. Let everyone know how they can find you on social medias. Go ahead and plug your social medias, my friend.
Well, as you can see it at the bottom, Chip Gettler everywhere. So Instagram, Chip Gettler, Facebook, Chip Gettler, YouTube, Chip Gettler.
White Shadow.
White Shadow, yeah. There have been times I've switched my name up and said White Shadow on it, and but for the most part, just Chip Gettler everywhere. And so most of my content is done on either Instagram and or YouTube. Every morning on YouTube, or not every morning, but a few times during the week, I do a coffee and a comic in the morning time, just to kind of say this is the comic I'm reading, and this, here's the type of coffee I'm drinking. And then I do a Sunday or a Saturday night banter, which goes from 7 p.m. till, like last weekend, it went till 2 a.m. So they're like these big, huge, just kind of sit around and everybody's invited. Everybody's welcome to jump on the channel, jump on camera, or not jump on camera and just jump on audio. And we'll still talk with you and just, as many people as I can get crammed in a window. And, and if I have to take myself out, I take myself out and bring someone else in. So it's happened in the past. So it's a good time. So a lot of conversations going on about all kinds of good things. So
I love it. Yeah. I'm already expecting people who are following me are already following you. But if you're not following Chip on YouTube, you guys need to follow him. Jump on those, community hangouts, man, because the conversations with Chip are awesome. They're really fun, super chill sometimes. And it's coffee and a comic. Look, I'm gonna tell you guys now, if you need some quick ASMR relaxation, you want to listen to Chip and his comic and coffee. It's because of the way he explains his comic and coffee. It's very chill.
That's my I'm still waking up voice.
You need to hone in on that right there. You need to be able to put, and I'm glad that you do that when you first wake up, Chip, because it's so, I'm serious when I say it's super soothing and super chill, like, this is nice.
Thank you.
I love it. And don't forget, you guys, I co-host the C-List Villains podcast. New episodes are out every Saturday on iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. And we also do a live show every Monday and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on YouTube. Come hang out with the C-List Villains with AJ, Luke, Red, and I as we talk about comic book shenanigans. Just have a good old time right there. All right, that's it for our top 3 new comic book day picks, you guys, with my special guest, the White Shadow, Chip Gettler, right here. Thanks to everyone for coming by and hanging out. Until the next issue, deuces.